Welcome, Jesters. Watching our friends on the left, like in the man on the street interviews and whatnot, I realized, or it's just a thought, that any, movement, philosophy, whatever, that requires a constant boogeyman is fundamentally unserious, right? Because the leaders, right, that type 4, they that's what they want you focused on all the time, right? They want you riled up. They want you always filled with emotion, always negative emotions, anger, hate, jealousy. And, it's like they're preying on your childhood emotions. Is the boogeyman hiding under the bed, just, waiting to grab you and pull you into the underworld. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, they use childish tactics for childish minds, right? But, think about it. Like, TDS is nothing new, right? Trump derangement syndrome. It actually started out as Bush derangement syndrome, the derangement syndrome thing, right? People would say that about George W. Bush, not about H.W., all about W, I think probably about the war, something like that. But before him, it was Reagan. Reagan had his finger on the button or something like that. And, before him, Nixon, I forget what they said about him. Oh, Goldwater before him. So the left, especially the modern left, has always required some kind of boogeyman to focus all their hate on, right? Because, leftism is basically driven on some kind of hate and distrust model of, their fellow citizens. So it makes sense. And, it's like everything. They make everything about the boogeyman. Like right now, everything is about Donald Trump. Everything is about Donald Trump, right? No matter what happens in the world, it's somehow Donald Trump's fault. And, all these protests and everything like that, he literally lives rent-free in these people's minds constantly. It's absolutely crazy, right? I was just watching a video this morning, quotes from either Hillary or Cami or someone like that, and the presenter would read them, and it was about Iran, and this woman went off, oh my God, Trump's terrible, he's stupid, he doesn't know what he's doing, blah blah blah, and then at the great reveal, actually Hillary said that. Oh, well, actually, she was very smart and understood, all the global dynamics because she was Secretary of State, and definitely she had the learned opinion that whatever she said. Okay, so when Trump says it, it's bad, but when Hillary says it, it's good. Oh, yeah, absolutely, because Hillary, she definitely knew what she was talking about, but Donald Trump's an idiot. Even though they literally said the exact same thing, and it is the exact same Iran that they were talking about. This requires some serious delusion, which is why I say any movement that requires a constant boogeyman is just fundamentally unserious. And it really is back to the basics that we know about our friends on the left. They can't actually address facts or the situation, the on-the-ground situation, because doing so would force them to confront some very uncomfortable truths about their philosophy and how they feel and their leaders and what they're being told, and how none of it just stands up to even the slightest bit of scrutiny, right? And the fact that they want you in, our friends on the left, they want them, for us, in emotional turmoil constantly, right? It's at least the ones, okay, it's crazy because our friends on the left, they're the ones that, can't stand religion, but, they create these idols, these negative idols that they focus all their anti-worship on in a weird way. Now, we do talk both seriously and jokingly how leftism really is a religion. It has all the tenets of a religion, right? It is almost blind faith to them, but so this really shouldn't surprise any of us, but they have their anti-God, anti-Christ or whatever you want to call it. I mean, realistically, they keep saying that Trump thinks he's king, that he's God or he's Jesus or whatever. So yeah, I guess it kind of fits, unlike us, really, we don't do this. We really don't. I would love for any of our friends on the left to let me know if we actually try, but we don't. We have pretty much forgotten about everybody, right? Joe, Cami, Barry, oh my God, I just said it and I forgot her name. Bill's wife. Anyway, we make jokes about them, right? To us, they're just basically historical punchlines at this point, right? Kind of comic relief. No one to be really taken seriously because they weren't fundamentally serious people to begin with. Yeah, so we have fun with it. But no, they're not going to let it go. They're not going to let him go. They haven't let it go since the escalator, right? They have been in get Trump mode as their entire core philosophy since the escalator. That is unhealthy. That is obsession. That is a cult. And you know I'm right.